Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have an uncanny ability to manipulate others? Well, the answer lies within the fascinating and somewhat unnerving realm of dark psychology. This field delves into the murkier aspects of the human mind, the parts that deal with manipulation, deception, and harmful persuasion. It's like a shadowy mirror, reflecting the darker side of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Dark psychology is not a realm for the faint of heart, for it reveals how easy it is for someone to manipulate our perceptions and steer us down paths we might not have chosen for ourselves. It's the study of those hidden corners of the mind, those areas that most of us would rather not acknowledge. You see, while we all like to believe that we are rational beings, immune to such manipulative tactics, the reality is that every single one of us is susceptible. Think of dark psychology as the puppet master's toolkit, filled with strings and devices that can control our thoughts, emotions, and actions without us even realizing it. It's a field that highlights the power of suggestion, the subtlety of emotional manipulation, and the strength of psychological pressure. It's like a chess game where the pieces are our minds, and the players are those who know how to exploit our vulnerabilities. But fear not, for knowledge is power. Understanding dark psychology and its tactics can arm us with the tools to recognize manipulation and deception. It can help us see through the smoke and mirrors and protect ourselves against these harmful forms of persuasion. Today, we will delve into the depths of dark psychology and explore real-life examples of how it has been used. We'll unmask the puppet masters, shed light on their tactics, and learn how we can safeguard our minds against their manipulative games. So buckle up. It's time to unveil the dark side of the mind. One of the most notorious examples of dark psychology in action is Charles Manson. A name that sends chills down the spine, Manson was not just a criminal but a master manipulator who used psychological techniques to control and influence his followers, the so-called Manson family. Charles Manson's strategy was a toxic blend of manipulation, persuasion, and fear. He crafted a unique environment where his followers felt a strong sense of belonging. Manson understood the human need for acceptance, and he capitalized on this, creating a family-like structure where outcasts and misfits felt at home. This sense of belonging was a powerful tool that Manson used to keep his followers loyal and obedient. But Manson's manipulation didn't stop at creating a sense of belonging. He also exploited the vulnerabilities of his followers. Many members of the Manson family were young and impressionable, grappling with personal issues and insecurities. Manson, like a predator sensing weakness, honed in on these vulnerabilities, using them as leverage to exert control and influence. Fear, too, was a weapon in Manson's arsenal. He used fear to maintain control over his followers, instilling in them a dread of the outside world. Manson painted a picture of an impending apocalyptic race war, which he referred to as helter-skelter. This fear of an external threat made his followers cling even more tightly to him and the Manson family, strengthening his control. Manson's manipulation culminated in the infamous Tate LaBianca murders in August 1969. Through a combination of fear, manipulation, and exploitation of vulnerabilities, Manson convinced his followers to commit these unthinkable acts, demonstrating the staggering power of dark psychology. Manson's case is a chilling example of how dark psychology can be used to devastating effect. His story serves as a stark reminder of the dangerous potential of manipulation and persuasion when wielded by someone with sinister intentions. Manson's tale is a testament to the depths to which the human mind can sink under the influence of dark psychology. The Stanford Prison Experiment provides another stark illustration of dark psychology. Let's dive into the details of this notorious study. Conducted in 1971 by psychologist Philip Zimbardo, the Stanford Prison Experiment sought to investigate how readily people would conform to roles of power and submission within a simulated prison environment. The participants, all ordinary young men, were randomly divided into two groups, prisoners and prison guards. The experiment was supposed to last for 2 weeks, but it was abruptly ended after only 6 days due to the alarming behavior exhibited by the participants. What makes this experiment a pivotal example of dark psychology is the way it underscored the power of roles and conformity in manipulating behavior. The guards, ordinary people like you and me, quickly adapted to their roles, exercising their authority to an extreme degree. They began to mistreat the prisoners, who were also ordinary people, subjecting them to psychological torture and humiliation. This rapid transformation was not just about power, but also about dehumanization. The guards began to see the prisoners not as fellow humans, but as objects of control and punishment. This loss of empathy allowed the guards to justify their actions, further spiraling into the dark abyss of psychological manipulation. It's essential to note that the Stanford prison experiment was heavily criticized for its ethical implications. However, its findings remain pivotal in understanding how social situations and roles can significantly influence behavior. The experiment showcases the extent to which an individual's actions can be swayed when they are placed in certain roles or situations. It also demonstrates how easily people can conform to societal expectations, even when those expectations involve harming others. This is a crucial concept in dark psychology, as it reveals that under certain conditions, ordinary people can act in ways that are significantly out of character and even cruel. The Stanford prison experiment serves as a potent reminder of how easily dark psychology can influence our actions. Understanding dark psychology is the first step towards protecting yourself from its effects. But what does it mean to protect oneself from dark psychology? Essentially, it's about developing a certain set of skills and employing specific tactics to safeguard your mental and emotional health. First off, it's crucial to develop your critical thinking skills. This means not taking things at face value, but questioning, evaluating, and analyzing what you're told. It's about being an active listener and not just a passive receiver of information. By questioning the motives and credibility of the person speaking, you can better discern the truth from the lies and protect yourself from manipulation. Another key strategy is strengthening your emotional intelligence. Emotionally intelligent individuals are able to recognize and manage their own emotions, as well as understand the emotions of others. This skill is invaluable when dealing with manipulative tactics that rely heavily on emotional influence. Recognizing when someone is trying to manipulate your emotions can help you keep a clear head and maintain control of the situation. Setting and maintaining healthy boundaries is also crucial. Boundaries are like invisible lines that define your personal space and autonomy. They help you define what is acceptable to you and what is not. By having strong boundaries, you can protect yourself from being manipulated or coerced into doing something you're not comfortable with. It's important to understand that these strategies are not about becoming a master manipulator yourself. Far from it. They're about understanding how these tactics work so that you can recognize them when they're being used against you and defend yourself effectively. Remember, the world of dark psychology is a murky and complex one. It's filled with tactics and strategies that can be used to manipulate and control. But by developing your critical thinking skills, strengthening your emotional intelligence, and maintaining healthy boundaries, you can protect yourself from falling victim to these tactics. Arming yourself with knowledge is your best defense against the manipulative tactics of dark psychology. Dark psychology is a fascinating and unsettling aspect of our human nature. It's a realm that many of us prefer not to delve into, but it's crucial to acknowledge its existence to better understand ourselves and others. We began our journey with an exploration of the dark side of the mind, unraveling the concept of dark psychology. This field studies the parts of human nature that we often shy away from: manipulation, deception, and control. It's a sobering reminder that not all human intentions are noble, and some individuals may exploit psychological principles for their selfish ends. We then explored real-life examples of dark psychology. The notorious Charles Manson, a master manipulator who used his understanding of human behavior to control and influence others. His chilling story serves as a stark reminder of the destructive power of dark psychology when used maliciously. We also discussed the infamous Stanford prison experiment, a disturbing demonstration of how ordinary individuals can transform under the right, or rather wrong, circumstances. This experiment highlighted how easily people can slip into roles of dominance and submission, providing a glimpse into the darker aspects of human nature. But it's not all doom and gloom. We also talked about how you can protect yourself from the effects of dark psychology. By understanding these principles, you can safeguard yourself against manipulation and control. This involves recognizing the signs of psychological manipulation maintaining strong personal boundaries, and fostering healthy relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. The exploration of dark psychology is not meant to scare but rather to enlighten. It's a journey towards understanding the complexities of human behavior, the good and the bad. It encourages us to learn more about psychology in general, to better understand ourselves and others. Remember, knowledge is power, and in the case of dark psychology, it's also your best protection.